nice. The spot over here, which I just labeled as a hump on the LiDAR. You don't really know whether, well, I don't know since this is my first time using it, whether these trees are going to fool LiDAR. There's lots of little bumps. I marked certain ones that looked a little different, and this looks to be one of them. There's a piece, a painted piece, black on white. Oh, here's a nice one. I almost walked by it. This is obviously it. This is bigger than the other ones. You can see what a big hump it is. Oh, look, and it's got a big hole. A lot of these things have this depression near them. I thought it could be for water. It could be possibly a kiva, although that's a little speculative. The ruin is just over there on a little hump. But this is a real distinct, look at this big piece. Oh, that is a big one. Oh, too bad it's, the paint is faded. That's a very nice, it's rare to find one of these sandstone buildings here on the cinders, because most of those are much near the painted desert where a lot of this rock is. And there's a really nice restored one up in Haawk National Monument, which we're near, if you ever want to go see one. But looking at the LiDAR, I saw a shape. I said, well, that's a ball court. And that's where we're going to now. So this is it. I actually walked past it. It's maybe it's a little bit on the small side for a ball court, but I think it's about the same size as the other one I found on the cinders here. You can see it's shaped like a big bedrock metate. It's lower. I think I can step over here probably. Occasionally with a barbed wire scratch. That's not so good. Well, serves me right for talking glib about crossing barbed wire fences and videoing it. Oh, look, there's a painted piece. That's pretty rare up here. Let's have a look at that. Oh, that's a beauty. Not common to see. It's going to be around, I suppose, get up to about 95 up here, 108 in Phoenix. Look at this, not so bad. Somebody decorated this rock. There it is. You know, it really existed. And it is a real petroglyph. It says so right here. I'll take a picture of that. Big rock. And look what we got here. That is a classic Kachina Hopi, one of the Hopi masks that are not so uncommon around here, but that's maybe the best one I've ever seen. Here's a guy with some claws. Another guy with a line over his head. That's probably a bear track. And there's some stuff over here. Those are pretty nicely made little feet. And a squiggle with an arrow. Look at the quality of that work though. Look how small it is. That's a pretty nice one. Looks sort of like a spiral with snake eyes. I've just crawled through a little hole here, and when I come out, there's a petroglyph on the wall. Over here, that looks like an animal. Well, let's concentrate on these last two, because the bottom one is certainly a mountain lion, long tail, claws. And the thing above it is very interesting with the segmented body and legs. It's probably a centipede. I've never seen one that looks quite like that, though. Anyway, pretty nice. Take a picture of this one. They look like manhole covers, don't they? Look at that. Perfect. I believe they're basalt accretions or concretions. I'll show you how big it is. My foot. Well, this is a nice one. It's you can't see it from below. You climb up above a big rock and you see it. It's got a lot of elements on the black face. The main one is that one with claws. Might be a mountain lion. Pretty self-explanatory. This is a nice one, I remember. Got some nicely made individual elements. It's a lizard man on the left, a little spiral, a little tadpole, and a skinny snake below it. A bigger spiral. A little bit of a rectangular spiral with some bit of a pattern. Well, I'm right at the edge where the park closes the area. You're not allowed to go into it. Well, there's a really fantastic petroglyph over there. I've shown pictures of it in some of my other videos. But a real beauty. This is a nice one. It includes inscriptions as well as petroglyphs. Here are the inscriptions. Over 100 years old. I don't know, it looks like fraternity keys. I'm not sure. I sort of doubt if that one's ancient. I doubt if this one's ancient too. Looks too stylized. That might be. You know, people have been coming around here for a long time. That's a nice one. Feet. And I think some sort of thunderbird object. An ungulate. Lizard man. That's a prayer wand, I think. This guy's a favorite. And there's a kachina mask down at this end. Nice color contrast with the red wood, and this is the sort of bluish mudstone. We're not too far from Blue Mesa. Yeah, look at the blue-green mixed in. One over here too. Probably they were connected at some point. Oh, wait a minute. I did it. You can't win if you don't play. That's a pretty good one, and I suspect the reason it was mentioned was because of this little kachina mask face down there. I think the article. And we got a bird on top of a wedding cake, but you know, I don't think I've ever seen a picture of this one, and probably not many people come here because it's not a known petroglyph area. Combination of the colors and the shape of the eroded ridges and washes is really something. Look at that, it's just really pretty. Going to change from the light brown to the reddish here pretty soon. Might be coming up to our reckoning here this ridge is going to end. That's a bit of a problem. I can't go down that. These are definitely petroglyphs. Circle with a dot, circle with a cross, 3 circles. Looks like Mr. Bill. Does too, those, that's a line here, and you see it's been cleared a bit. Look at this, it's I think I just swallowed a pot. Great. You can see the right angles here. And it's a pretty long line. Not sure the purpose. You see something like this on top of a hill in an area like this, I think you think ceremonial or religious. Well, it's just, well, I kept going because these are the best ones of the day. It's looks like 2 spirals, a big one on top of a little one. It's right here. Look at all these circles. It's in the shade, so I'm not sure how well it's showing up with the sun in the background. But let me count them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 I count. The view of those, but look what's revealed itself over here. That is a very nice, I guess, a bighorn. Here, I'm going to have to put a shadow on it to see it clearly, but it looks like it's 2 lizard men. Okay, I got my body in the way now so you can really see that's a pretty nice petroglyph. Okay, I've arrived at a cool area for sure. But look at all these great glyphs. A lot going on there. And look at on this side of the rock. We'll go. Luis Amarillo, 105 years ago, was here. Right next to these nice glyphs. Now we're up at the top. I think this one with the bighorn and that abstract pattern, which is really fancy, I think that's my favorite one up here. And over here's another little alcove at the top where I can see petroglyphs. See them on the back of that rock, and even better down on this lower rock. Look at that fat lizard man. Look at that outline cross. That's beautiful. Beautiful work. And that's a bighorn down there. And we'll have to reposition ourselves for these other ones. Now that is an outline cross, I would say. I don't think it's saguaro. And very vivid. And above it some squares with lines, meaning unknown, per usual. There's some circles in circles connected, some faint guys in between, and we'll get over to this one. And here's a view of this one, almost like a pipette. There's some up there, and that includes one that I wanted to see, that sun on the upper right. That's a sun up there, and some circles. But there's the one I want to see. I'll get a better close-up. This one is a favorite. I took a picture of this 8 years ago, and I've not been back to it. I sort of wondered where it was. And here it is. There you go. That is a nice one. So that's where I'm going today. There's a ruin on top of that that's very sort of impressive looking. Here's the continuation. Now, as I recall, in the satellite, it shows a great big, almost half circle on one end, and that's this. pretty well preserved. That's obviously a single room. Look how nice that wall is. Big rocks still in place. The big wall is again, I believe that's a perimeter wall. Well, we'll go see. It's near the edge. But it's clearly a room. Watch my step. Got a big rock built into it, into the side. Same way over here. Let's look over the side. Yeah, we got the cliff over here. And this is a room wall. This is one of these early rooms. Approached from the other side. Looks like somebody's dug that out there, interestingly enough. Oh, I don't know. More than likely a pot hunter as opposed to a archaeologist. But look at it, how, again, you can see the construction use these big rocks as a foundation. Again, you can imagine this with a roof on it made of sticks and other plant material. So this is quite a thing here, this passageway between these two big walls. That's something I'm not used to seeing. Of course, you know, most of the ruins around here completely collapsed, so maybe you wouldn't notice it, but it's almost like a street with buildings, and this being an alley or a lane that I'm walking in. Here's a view of this alley passageway between these two fine walls here. And that's a pretty good view there, just looking up at the, you know, into the distance, wall. It's quite a place for Arizona. Those are pretty mountains. I don't think they have any trails in them, and not many people come to them. There we go, that's a rim piece. You can see the smooth top there. You can see it curve. Still the same kind. Quite thin though. This is some bit of textile, maybe a shirt. That's unusual. And then went over here and it became more clear, at least what the shirt is. These are, what do they call them? Carpet shoes or carpet slippers. This is things that people wear on their feet to not be detected, not leave footprints. So that's some illegal activity that, you know, these may be pretty old, but I'm slightly surprised to see it down here. I know if you go up on those high ridges, you can see it. I can see some more this way. Look at that one. That one's a little better. Another view. Interesting. Well, I stopped right here as I was crossing this little creek. And the first thing I noticed, well, that's pottery. That's a big piece of pottery. And then I see some paint on the end of it. So this is exactly what I want to see. Look at that. That's got to be some of the painted Haawk pottery. Usually you would say, well, the most common type that I like to see is red on buff. That's not red, that's a brown on buff, I guess. Just sitting right there in the creek bed. Look at the paint there. Hand painted, of course. That's very fine work because you can see how thin it is. And you can see it's thinner at the top. Oh, I just noticed that may be a crested saguaro right there. Now you Arizona viewers will know about crested saguaros. You who are not may not, but it's a mutation that occurs infrequently and makes that sort of crest on the top. And they're rare, you know. You can look out over 1,000 saguaros and there won't be any. Just happen across one is pretty lucky. Anyway, that's pretty cool. Piece or two down here. Pottery we can associate with this rock pile, making it likely this was something to do with habitation. Look at that. A couple of stripes at the bottom. Part of the same vessel.